Recording. Okay, guys. So morning. We will be starting our class for today. And in today class, we are going to learn about the positioning, CSS property called position. After that, we're gonna look at the flex, and after that, we're gonna look at the grid. Okay. So start with position, right? So what I will do, we are here in 8. Let's make one folder, right? And call it 9 dot position. Position. So in here, I'm going to get index page, right? Index.html. And let's have one style sheet also, because it's all about style, right? Style.css. So in index, as normal, we have this template. We can change the title, make it position, right? Okay. CSS position, which let's call it CSS position better, right? Position property. So I want to create simple template. Okay, so let's have a div, right, with class name, call it parent. Okay, because we are learning about position, we want to move the element in different position, right? So we're gonna have parent element, and then we're gonna, let's call it parent, right? Parent, and then we're gonna have couple of div with child. Okay, so we can call it child. Yeah, so child 1, that is okay. Let's make it 2 more, child 2 and 3, right? So child 2 and 3, right? So we're gonna have different color. Okay, so let's make it color 1, call 2, and call 3 also, so that we can apply different color. Call 3. Good. So if we go live view now, so guys, when you are doing live views, right, you just, I see someone always opening. Okay, you don't have to do that, right? Let me increase the size here, because yesterday I changed to basically small, right? So I'll make it, yeah, 200 is okay. I see here. So I will just put side by side so that it will be easy to work. Correct? Oh, I don't want to make that go. Okay. So I'm gonna collapse my file here. Okay, where is that collapse? Here, right? Okay, so now, I'm gonna link my CSS file, correct? Link CSS dot slash and style.css. So if I make any changes to the page, right? See, if I'm writing here and I save, right, it will display here. That is called live server. Okay, live means what? You are making some change, just save your index page and it will update. You don't have to go back and do right click and open with server. No, you don't have to do. Okay, that's the reason, right? You are making changes to your page and you can see in the website exactly in the same time. Okay, see, I delete that file and here is the update, right? Okay, so we're just gonna add some CSS, basic CSS. So call it, first we're gonna have a star always, so make it margin 0, correct? Padding 0, and box sizing border box, right? Done. So that will remove all the extra margin, padding, if anything there, right, from the element. Okay, because browser gives some default size, and that's what we want to clean up. Okay, now I'm going to select parent, right? Parent box, and give some padding. First, let's give a background color, right? Background color. So I will give a something, let's call it steel blue. Okay, see, that's the background color, right? So let's make the color of this one maybe white. Okay, white is okay. Let's try. it looks something like this now. See that? So I'm going to add some padding also. Okay, padding around 12 pixel, right? Top and bottom, and left and right maybe 20 pixel. So yeah, now there is what? Child, right? Child. So let's give some padding to the child. Padding to the child of top and bottom maybe 10 pixel, and left and right 20 pixel. Okay, so that's the child. But child, we can select what was the class name? One, column 1 2 3, right? Let's give different color. Okay, dot col 1, we can make it red. Color, background color. Okay, background color will be red, and save that. You see, something like that, right? And then we're gonna have a, again, just copy this, put it 2 more time, right? But I'm gonna change call 2 to different color. So let's make it something like that. Okay, and here also we can do, we can just change to this one. Also just have to change the class name here, right? 3. Okay, so we have 3 box. See that there is a 3 box. It looks something like that. Okay, guys, and there is a parent, child 1, child 2, child 3. That's the normal. Inside the parent box you have 3 child, right? That is the normal document flow. Okay, so in normal, what happened, right? These are statics. If you look at here, okay, if you go to the CSS element and then computed, right, and you find here a position. See if we can find, okay, something. Oh, it's not showing up. Position, see that position is here, right? That's the static. So that is a normal document flow, is static. Okay, that is a normal document flow. The position is what? Static by default, right? So everything you place, the block element will be just starting with a new line, like we have child 1, child 2, child 3. So we're gonna learn some new properties now, right? Relatives, absolute, fixed, and sticky, right? So there are 4 properties we will be learning. Okay, so let's try now. So okay, I think this will be very small, right? Let me close this to make it big. All right, so just imagine it's there. Okay, so go to CSS. So the first property, right? Let's select child 1. Okay, it's column 1. This is child 1, right? And I'm going to give a position relative. Okay, what happened if I give position relative? Nothing, right? This child 1 is position relative, but nothing happened. It's similar to static, but now I have option. Okay, what I can give, there are 4. Once you apply position relative, right, now you're gonna have 4 options: top, right, left, bottom. Okay, so say top, right? If I have top, I can make it maybe 10 pixel. What gonna happen? See, so it moves from its normal position. There was a normal position before when it was static, so it moves 10 pixel from the top. If I make it 20, right, see, it moves from the top, okay, 20 pixel down. If I make a left now, right, left of 50 pixel, see, and from the left side it moves 50 pixel. See that? So that's how it works, right? That's how it works. That is the relative position. But normally you're not going to use relative, right? When you're going to use relative position, because if you move like that, now you are hiding, right? You are hiding the child 2. Then you have to do same thing for again, right? Same thing for like child. You have to do the same thing, right? You put here, save, then child 2 move. Then you do the same thing for column child 3 also, right? Save, see, and you don't want, right? So normally you're not going to use relative that way, in that way, right? Okay, but how we gonna use relative, we will see now, just now. Okay, give me a second. So the first one was relative, and you can move. Once you apply position relative, you have option to move the element from top, from left, from right, or bottom. But you're never gonna use all side, right? Maybe you're gonna use one, two side, either from bottom or from top or from left or right, right? Any two you're gonna use maximum. Okay. Okay, so that was the relative. Next position now, right? I'll save this and everything get normal. Okay. The next position is absolute, right? So in column one, I'm going to put absolute position. See, now what happened? So child one is there, right, on the top, but child 2 and 3 moves already to occupy the child 1 position. So the point here to remember, right, when you make any element absolute, here we have make child 1 absolute. Okay, so that document is no more, it behaves like it is no more in the normal document flow. Okay, it is no more in the normal document flow. Okay, so that's why uh, child 2 and 3 moves and occupy the child 1 position. Okay, now, right, what we can do with this? So you can apply again same thing. Top, make it 0, right? Let's make it 0. What is gonna happen now? So see, it moves to the top, right? Top of the page. When you give top 0, it moves to the top of the page. Okay, let's make it minus 20, right? So it just go inside, right? It from the normal, from 0 it moves inside minus 20 pixel. Okay, but now, right, I don't want from the top, then I just want in the inside the parent, right? Inside the parent. So let's make it parent some margin, right? Give some margin to the parent. Let's give it margin top maybe 50 pixel. Okay, so now, because right now it's really absolute means what, in relation with the root. Right now it is in relation with the root element, like HTML element, not with the parent, right? It does not care about the parent right now. But how we gonna make this absolute position element relation with the parent? Then you have to apply in the parent position relative. If you do that, see, now it comes in relation with the parent. Okay, so let's look at the call one right here. If I just keep it 20 pixel, not the minus, right? See, now it is 20 pixel from the parent top. From the parent top, it is 20 pixels. See that? So you can move, right? Let's move it left. Left of maybe 100 pixel. See, but it will stay within the parent. Soon you make the parent element position relative. That's how it will be. So any element, right, you need to move. Okay, so you have to put in the box, right? Let's say you wrap in the parent and there is 2 elements inside the parent and you want to move one inside in place of other one, right? Then you're gonna use, make the parent relate position relative, and then you move your child one wherever you want inside the parent. Okay, if you don't put in the parent relative, then it will just go out of the document, move to the top of the page, like with along with the root, right? Root. Okay, so because it has top 20, that's why if I make top 0, see, it goes on the root element. So if I make the parent position back, right, position to relative, now it's 0 from the parent, right, top, and the left is 100 pixels. See, so if I remove the left, then it will be on the top left corner, right? See that? That's the parent top left corner. Okay, so we saw now absolute, we saw relative, right? So there is 2 more we're gonna learn about. So what is that? Fixed, right? Fixed position. The fixed position is what? Fixed position will be fixed on the top 0. See, here is top 0, right? So fixed position is same like the absolute, but it will be fixed on the top, wherever you give the position here. So if I put 10 pixel, right, it is fixed in that position. Okay, and How are we going to test that? By just giving the parent, let's give a height, right, to the parent of 200 view height. Okay, so now parent is big, right, 200% of the view. Okay, so see, if you move now, it is fixed there. If you keep moving, right, it is fixed there. See, it's just fixed there, right? That is fixed position. Clear? So you can fix in whatever position you want, right? Top, I mean, you can put let's make it top 10 or top 0 and left 50, right? Make it left 50. From left 50 pixel. Oh, sorry, right, not make it right. Let's move the right. So from right, it is 50 pixel, okay? See that? From the right screen size, it is 50 pixel away. And it's fixed there, see? So you can change the position, right? There is only 4 side, like top, left, right, bottom, right? So, you can use the way you want. The last one is sticky, right? Sticky. So let's change to sticky now. Sticky, right? So sticky has, I mean, there is some, so sticky is same like the relative, right? When you put sticky, nothing happen, correct? If I remove these two, nothing happen, right? See? So sticky is the same like a relative, right? So you just make this position sticky. Now if I give, right, if I give this size, let's make this sticky top 0, right? Let's see what happens. Now it will be there, okay, it will be there, right? But when you move up, and hit the 0 position, it will just stick there. See, so maybe you have nav bar somewhere in the center, right, in the page, but you want to stick on the top, then you just put sticky like this and then move it here. In fixed, what happened, right, you from the beginning it is fixed on the top, okay, but in sticky now you have option. It will be same like a relative or static. It does not change anything, but you just apply top 0. So when the browser hit on the top 0, basically when that element reach on the 0 position, it will stick there, and that is the benefit of sticky. So that is all about our 4 position, right? 4, or yeah, static was the normal, this is the normal document flow. The relative, the only way you can use relative is with absolute. So you just make your parent relative, and now you can move something absolutely, right? Any child you can move absolutely, okay? So that is absolute, right? When you make something, any element absolute, that means that element is no more in the normal document flow. Yeah, and you have to give some position like top, left, right, or bottom, whatever position you need to move that document in that position, okay? So, and then was the sticky and fixed. Clear? So you can mostly, you can use sticky or fixed. You can use, I think it will be better if you just sticky, right, to your top nav, sticky on your 0 position, okay? You can do fixed, you can use fixed also. If you don't want, I mean, if your nav bar is already in the top, right, in the 0 position, you can add fixed. But let's say your nav bar is somewhere in the center, like this child one, right? Then you can make sticky, so that there will be, when this box move on the top, it will stick there. So you can use any element to stick, right, in certain position. So depends on your need, okay? All right, so let's finish this one now, and we're gonna go back to our flexbox, okay? I'll close this, and we're gonna, if any question, we will answer later, okay? So let's not worry. So 9, let me make the folder called 10 flexbox, right? I will download. I think I will just download the file, right? So what you guys can do now, I will show you. So in here, right, just below this image, okay, in our project, in our doc, right, Google Doc. When you open, just go down somewhere here. That's the resource. I mean, you can click, that is the website if you want to look something. And this is the flexbox document, right? The starter file, okay, you can download. So I'm going to download now, right? So click on this. If I click here, it will be, you go here, and I will download now. Okay, so it's downloaded, correct? I will close this, extract all, open this, and open this one. Now extract here, right? So I will extract to the tutorial, and something look like this right here. Okay, so I will just copy this file, right, basically, and put in my, or what I will do, I will drag and drop, right, better. So I just go here and drag and drop to my flexbox. So I have now index page and style CSS. Okay, so let's open this in the browser, right, and check. So it looks something like this, right? Flexbox challenges, and there are like 6-7 challenge, right? We're gonna solve this problem. So we're gonna try to understand, right, the use case of flexbox. Okay, not common. This is not 7 and 8 is not common, right? You don't have to worry too much about this too. Okay, but this until this 6 we will look at, right, and we're gonna understand. So if you remember, if you understand all this, right, it will become easy to understand flexbox. Okay, so let's try now, right? So if we go to our index page, first let's look at the index page, right? I mean, normally if you look at here, it should have the heading tag. There is one, this tag, right, heading 2, or yeah, what tag is here? So this is heading 1, heading 4, right? See, align block item in the same row, right? See that heading 4, that's the heading 1. And then you have a container, right, with this snow white. Okay, and there is an item like the box, right? 1 div, 2 div, and 3, that is called item. So container, and inside the container there is a div, right? So these are the div. Okay, these are the tomato box. So you have a snow, like a white box with a tomato box, right? So you can, now we're gonna play around with this white tomato box in the snow. Okay, something like that, right? So let's try. So what we need for our flex, we have learned before, right? You need parent, that is a container, and then you have a child already, right? Similarly, there is a, this is tax, this was a tax 1, right? Tax, this is a tax 1, tax 1, right? That one. And inside that there is a container and with the child. So we just have to work with this container child, right? These are just to style the box and all that. Okay, so similarly here in the next challenge, right, there is next div with tax 2 center item, right? That is the work we have to do. And then there is a container, white container with the child, right, inside. Tax 3, right, here is the information what we have to do. Then there is a container inside that, and there is a 2 or 3 element, right? See that inside the container. Tax 4, similarly heading 4 with there are options. This is option 1, and there is container, right? And there are something to, I mean, there is 2 div inside that. So that's how it is built, right? And we're gonna just all these options or all this exercise we're gonna do now. Okay, so let's go to the CSS. So CSS is already written, right? Basic CSS. That's why you have all this style here. Okay, it's ready to go, right? So tags, okay, that is the 20 pixel margin. Container, there is style for container, snow white, and all that, right? Solid, the board, there is some border. The box height is 200, border radius 4 pixels. So there is a radius on the corner, right? So you can, so these are the item, right? These are the item of the, so this is background color is tomato, and the width is 40, height is 40 pixels. See, so that's the tomato box with width and height 40 pixel, border radius is 4 pixel, correct? So that's why you see the corner in each box, right? 4 pixel. Now the small size with 20 pixel large, this is just a CSS, you're going to see later on. But now let's start our task one, right? Task one, what is saying now, right? Align block item in the same row. The task one container. Container is the parent, right? The white box, and there is a 3 child. So it's saying align the child in the same row. So remember, you have a section and couple of div box with some text inside, and we used to do row, right? This, I mean, row class. So what you do now? Display flex. That is the first property you can apply. Display flex to move something in one row. See that? That's it. So you need a container or parent, right? In our case, in our CSS, we used to use row, right? Row class, and then inside the row we do display flex. So you all have done that, right? So see, it gets it there. Yeah. So now there is the flex direction, right? So if you go flex direction, okay, I will show you something more, right? Flex direction, this is row, right? This is by default is row, okay, same thing. But if you do column, right, what gonna happen? So that will move like this. Now see, it will be in one column. Now all the child go from top to bottom, right? And also there is a gap. So let's make it something like this. Also there is a gap, right? Gap you can give, let's give a gap of 20 pixel, right? See? So if I make a row now, right, row, it will be like this. So and each box, these are a div, right? These are the div. So what happened inside here? Maybe you have heading to paragraph, some other button, whatever, right? In each of them. So they will move like this, okay? The next property, what we learned, right? Align items, correct? Align items, center, right? If I do center, that's the horizontal, right? Okay. No, sorry, that is horizontal. Yeah, vertical, okay, that is vertical, right? In the straight top to bottom, okay? So from top it will just go in the center, right? Vertically. So horizontal is justify content, right? If I make it center now, it go like that. If you do space between, there will be space out, right? All goes from, you know, like they move like this, okay? See? Yeah. So it is vertically center and horizontally also space between now, right? So these are the properties: align items, justify content. These are the elements or property you're gonna normally use all the time, you know. That's it. If you remember all this, right, that will be enough to do a lot of flex work. Okay. So, but the goal of this exercise was to just do, you know, make things in one line, right? And that is the job we have to do. Okay, for now let's delete this. That is by default, and we're done. Well, let's move to the next one, right? So what I will do, I'm gonna hide this, right, to the first one. Okay, so let's hide this in the HTML challenge, flexbox challenge. So this is the box, right? So I will just comment this one. Okay, so we don't gonna see that one. Now we move to the challenge 2, right? Center the item in the middle of the container. That is the use case. This is all the use case of flexbox, right? And that's what we are looking at. So in the task 2, we have this one item and it is asking us to center. So let's go to the CSS task 2. So what you do always, you have to do display container, right? Parent. So display flex. And now because only one child, it will be in the same place, but we can apply align item, right? Center. That will be vertical. Okay. And justify content, center. That is horizontal. See, now it is in the center of the box. See here. So that's how you move something in the center, right? So any element you need to move, you just do this property. Okay. So justify content, center. And also we saw, right, align space between, space around, space evenly, flex start, flex in. So if you do here flex start, what's gonna happen? Flex start, right? So that means it will go on the beginning, beginning of the page horizontally. If you do vertically flex in, right, what gonna happen? That will move down to the bottom, vertically. See? But to center it, just center. So that will go vertically center, and this will make horizontally center. Done. So that's how you're gonna practice how to move things in the center. So always the parent element and the child, right? You need to move the child. So remember, when you have many childs and you need to put together in one line, one row, the gap space between them, just put make a div, separate div, and then in the parent container, that will be a row class or container, not container. Normally we use row, right? Use that row to make a display flex, and then you're gonna give justify. If you want to have a space between, just give a gap, justify content space between, or something like that you can use. Okay. All right, so that is done, right? That work is finished. Let's go back now, comment that out now. So okay, start from here. So I'll save, and now we get the flex challenge 3, right? So look at here, because of this small box, large box, there is a CSS, right? We saw that small, large. So that's why it looks something like this. This SMLG is applied in our tags, in our, what you call that, in our property of the box, right? So if you go back, so if you go to the index page, there should be some kind of, see, item, small class, large class, and just item, right? That's why it looks something like that. But anyway, it's saying what? Distribute equal space between item. Between item, okay? Equal space. How are we gonna do that? So in tags 3, right? Again, container, display, flex. Yeah. And then justify content. When you do flex, right? When you save, say it moves in one row, correct? Now it's a distribute equal space between items. So how we do that? Justify content, right? And space between, correct? And that's it. See, space around, between, and evenly, but we say equal space between, and that's what we have to do and save. You see, now there is equal space between 3 items. So as per our need, you can use it, right? So that was the task 3. Okay, let's hide this up. And let's go to the task 4 now, right? Save this. The task 4 has push the last item to the end, right? So there is 1, 2, 3, right? Sub-tasks. In the 4, there is 3 sub-tasks. So we have to push the last item to the end. So yeah, let's continue. So in CSS, we go to task 4. So there is option. See that all the option, right? For 1, 2, 3 work. Okay. So in task 4, task 4 container. Here is the container, right? So what we do? Display flex, right? The first one. See? So it looks something like that. So how you gonna push this last one, right? How are you gonna push that? So we're gonna add maybe a space between. If we do justify content, right? If we do, because it's saying push the last one to the end, right? So we can do justify content. Yeah, space between, that will work. Yeah, so see, we push the last one to the end, right? Done. Okay, so let's look at this one, right? The second one. Okay, so it has 3 items now. So how are we going to push the last one to the end now? That is the point, right? So display flex. Now we need to push the last one to the end. So is that possible if you do justify content, right? Space between, or evenly, or even around. Do you think it's going to work? No, right? So all has equal space, and we don't want that. Okay, so we have to figure out how you're gonna push the only last to the end, not that two, not all of them equal divide, right? No, so that did not work. So there is the option now, right? In our index, in this option 1, option 2, where is that? Here. So let's say this is the first child, second child. What I will do here, right? I'm gonna make a div here dot space. Okay, that's it. I just added one extra div, right? And give a class called space. So this is the part of which one? Option 2. Just for option 2 dot space, right? Let's select that one. Okay. So here I will just add dot. Even I can do space is okay, right? Space. Let's put it there. And there is a property called flex grow. Okay, flex grow, right? And make it 1. So it will grow 100% if there is some space. See? Right now you don't see, right? But let's put a background color of orange or blue, right? See that? That's the box. Okay, that is a space box, right? Which push the last one to the end. But this is a use case, right? Sometimes you just need something to push the other item to the end, and you can use that trick. Okay, so that is the one use case. Yeah. So now next one here, right? These two. So what is here? Option 2 container. Okay, so okay, I had added this, but we don't need this one. Let's delete that. So in the option 3, what is saying, right? I mean, basically you need to push the last one to the end. So let's try now. Display flex. We can do that, and maybe we can just display flex, right? But we can select okay the task for option 3 last child, first child, right? First child. Okay, so this first child, if we can make that big, right? Flex grow. Okay, let's do it flex grow, right? Grow to 1. See, so even we can use this trick sometimes, okay, to make our this. Let's say you have a search bar, some kind of search bar which needs to grow big, right? You can do that also. See, flex grow 1, and the items just move whatever icon there, right? Maybe the click icon, button, whatever it is at the end of the box. So that is the one use case also. I just select the first child and make it flex grow 1. In that way, it will grow all the way and push the second child to the end. Okay, we're done with this now, right? Let's collapse this up. Basically the whole task for right here. I'll comment that out, so we're not going to see that in the page. Save, and that gone. So now you say build the responsive layout. Build the responsive layout without and with media query. So here is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 box. Okay. So how are we gonna make responsive layout with all this child in CS? Basically in flexbox. So we have task 5, right? Task 5 or 6. Oh, sorry. Here 5 is here. Build the relative size column. Relative size column, right? Means relatives. They are, they are like percentage wise relatively equal size column, right? So how are we gonna do that? Basically in task 5 container, that is a parent, we make display flex. Okay, and now, right, if we make flex grow 1 to each of them, each child, right? If we do that, flex grow 1, flex grow 1, flex grow 1. If I save this for now, say all grow equally, right? But the last one is still the same size. So if you add flex grow 1 here also, see, now they are equal size container, I mean child, right? Equal size. Build relative size column. That's it, just give flex grow 1 means relatively grow equal, right? So there is a 4 column, but let's say you want this first one like a 3 time, right? Size of other one. What you gonna do now? So that will be 4 plus 3. So you just make the first one maybe flex grow 3 time, right? Okay. So 3 and 3 6, right? So this is already, the first one is already 3 time of the remaining 3. So if you make 4, see, just grow, right? Grow. So you can add, just sometimes you need box which grow certain size than other, you know, you can use the flex grow property also. So let's keep it for 1 now. So these things will be, right, it will, you will not understand everything right now, okay, but this practice, the use case of the flexbox will be helpful. Just use this template to practice for sometimes. Just do it once a week, twice a week, thrice a week. Read the flexbox, you know, and you have done already some work. So slowly in a couple of weeks you will get master of flexbox, okay, and you know how to use in different location or different situation, okay. So that's what we have to become with the flexbox and grid also. So but the grid will be our first, I mean today will be our first class. That's fine. So we're done with the 5, right? We're done with the 5. So let's comment that out now. Okay. So build the responsive layout with and without media query. Let's try this one, okay? So in the 6, right? Build the layout without and with media query. So if we have to make a responsive layout, right? What we're gonna do now? First, we have to convert our container to flexbox. Okay. So when you do display flex, all the childs gets in one line. Yeah. Now, right? What we're gonna do now? We're just gonna apply flex wrap. Remember flex wrap? So it says without media query, right? Just put a flex wrap now. Flex wrap to wrap, right? Wrap. See? Now, if there is no space, right, it will just wrap down, you know. See? It's already responsive. So that is without media query, okay. So, but this is, you know, like a, if there is no size, right? If there is no size, let's say, see, right now we don't have any fixed size. So how are we gonna fix? Let's say I want to have two, maybe in this screen size, right? What I gonna do now? Let me think. If I, for a small device, right? Maybe I just want, you know, like 2, not 4, right? For a small device, I just want 2. So how I can fix that, right? Let's give a width of 50%. See what's gonna happen. Okay? So means 1 is 50%, 50%. So it will be, right, 50% for a small device. But if the device grow, right, how we gonna fix that? If let's say mean width means if you go above 375 pixel, you know, how are we gonna fix that now? Let's say if you go above 375, you want 4, right? So we can give a width here, you know, width of how much? 25%. And if you go above maybe 375, it will be 25%. See that? So with media query, you can fix, you know, you can apply some basically responsiveness also. Okay. So that was the challenge 6 normally, right? So in a small device, there is 50%. And when you go above 375, that will be 25%. So it fits 4 bucks. Okay. Okay. All right. So let's look at the, okay, close this 6 now. I mean, 7 and 8 is not common, right? This is just changing the, you know, order of the page, and I believe one more there. Save this. Change the order of is not common, but see, this box is 1, 2, 3, 4, right? If I want 4 on the top, what I can do now, right? There is an order property, okay, you can apply. So let's say in the container, first I have to do display flex, right? That's it. And I want to bring the 4 to the beginning. So I just go to the item 4. I don't have item 4 here. So 3. Let's make it 3, right? Or let's make the item 1 to the last, right? So order, right? And I will give it 5 number. Okay. See now that order 5 means the one just went to the last, right? Any big number you can give. If I give 3, it's still there. If I give 2, it's still. If I give 1, right, it's still in the end. Okay. So if I put 0 now, what's gonna happen? So 0 is the normal position of each element. Okay. If I make 1, it will move to the end, right? But if I make 3 now, right? If I make 3 0, so if I give a 3 of order 0, then that will be oh, sorry, 3 is already after, right? 3 is already after the 2. So item 3 0. Let's make it -1, right? To bring it in the beginning. Okay. So that's how you're gonna move in the beginning. So that's the order. So and normally you're not gonna use, right? So let's not worry about that too much. But you see there is something called order property also. So that one is 7. And what is in 8? Let's check, right? To change the position of item not common, right? I mean, that's the same thing also, right? So that will be the same, almost same. So if we go back here, just to display flex, yeah, it's not same, not same. Okay, so we are using align self, right? Okay, align self. So if item 1, right, now you can align it, each item. Right now they are horizontally in same position, but you can select one of them, right, and you can move it down, center, bottom, like that, right? So that is align self property. Okay, yeah, this is useful. So if I put a flex end, right, let's make it flex end and save. Oh, sorry, not align item, but align self. Okay, sorry about that. Why I said it's not moving. That is align self. See, we can move like that, right? You can move one of them in certain position. Okay. And yeah, so if you do justify content, right, justify content, flex start. Okay, let's do that. So that is vertical, right? It move? No, right? It didn't move from there. Flex in. What about justify content? Flex. It moves that like a whole thing, right? The whole thing is moved up, and center will be in the center. It's still the same thing, but you see that? Anyway, we got all this done now. So let's keep it up to here, right? For this video, I will stop and then I'm gonna record the next one. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you very much.